everybody, Vinny MC here, and this is going to be part 4 and the final part of my series on Cryengine Beginner's Guide to Characters. And in this part, all we'll be doing is setting our character that we had prior here to be the player. So here's how we do it. First thing we need to do is we need to go to Assets, Animations, and this time what we wanted, oops, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong tutorial, animations. And what we want to do this time is get the names from the modus animation, the sample player character, because I am not, as I stated before, getting into blend spaces, so we're not going to be loading the blend space animations up. We're going to be loading these animations directly. And I don't want to have to change anything, so basically I'm just going to copy the names here and rename my current animations to those. So the names I'm going to be interested in looking for in this demonstration of the player, I'm just going to be loading the idle, the walk forward and the walk backward. You can do the rest yourself and find out how to do it more and do more options, etc. Tweak it yourself. So the names I want to get here are walk _BCK _3P for walking backwards, the walk _FWD _3P, and that will be for the walking forward. And then finally at the very top we want to get the idle _3P for our idle animation. Now what I've done is I've already went ahead and went into my Maria folder here, which has my Maria animations, and I renamed those, the ones we're going to be using, to the ones that we just shown. I renamed the idle to idle 3P to match it, and made sure it idle 3P animation settings was renamed also. Walk back for the walk backwards and walk forward for the walk forward. So you just rename them like so. Once that's done, that's fine. We can drop that back down. The only thing we need to do now is two things, really, is we need to actually go to the mannequin preview file. So we'll go to tutorials, animation, and this is the only preview file you have to change. I mean, the only mannequin file you have to change is the preview file for the player. So it points to your CDF file and not to the basic player's sample character CDF file. So I'll just copy this name because that's the name I'm going to be using, Maria. So we'll copy that name. And here all we need to do, leave everything the same because what we're going to be changing is only the showing of the Maria character. And as you see, I've already changed it to objects, characters, Maria, that's our folder, Maria CDF there for our first person, and then the same thing, objects, character, Maria CDF for our third person, and I've already saved it. So this allows us now when we load up the preview, it will load up the other player mannequin files, but it will show our CDF file, not the sample player. So now what we can do is drop that back down. And we've renamed our animations. We've went in and changed that preview. Now we're going to point to the animations. So we open up our third person tutorial. And what we do here is we want to go to mannequin and point to our new animations for the player, the walk, the idle. So there's our mannequin open. Of course, if we didn't know or it was closed, we go to Tools, Animation, Mannequin Editor. And here we want to load up the player XML. And it should show our own. Forget about that. These are the errors that we're going to get because we've changed the animations. So we just drop down to our editor here. And now if you zoom in, you'll see that the CDF character is our CDF character, our Maria. There she is. Now what we do here is ensure that the context is going to be third person. And we go down to our idle, we go down here, and we go to the options, we double click options, And here's where we point to where our idle is. So we go to our first person, make sure we go there, click there, and there's where our idle is, and we say OK. And we go down to this one, and we point to where, we go down to this one, click in the box, and we point to where our idle is. There you go. There you go, everything's okay, looks okay, it's all looping, fine. Now what we do is go to our walk, go down to the default. Now what I've done is I've already changed this. As you can see, I've changed and pointed to where my walk 3P is. Right there, walk forward 3P for the first walk. And then walk forward 3P for the second walk. I've changed it already. And what I've done is I've actually went to the walk, highlighted that, and I created a new fragment entity, which will drop down a new option here for me to put in. And in this new option, I put in the walk backwards. Let's click on that one. We put in the walk back 3P and the walk back 3P there, pointing to walk back 3P that we have right there. So basically all these mannequin files have been set up for the ease of use. You know how to do it now. It shouldn't be fairly easy for you to do it. So what we should do is go up to here, File, and we save those changes. We haven't really changed anything, but that's what you do when you initially do it, and say OK to the save changes. Now what we do is get a complete, what I like to do is maybe, let's reset this layout here, because the next one we're going to be going into the actual level. So now what we want to do is we want to generate a solution, and to do this you must make sure that you have Visual Studio installed, Visual Studio 2017, the community free version. You've got that installed. Now what you want to do is, we'll close out our sandbox here, is you want to go to the tutorial, your project root directory, and what you want to do here is you want to generate a solution for this so you can change what the player CDF file will be when you go in game. When you change the player CDF in the preview file, that was just for Mannequin's preview to show you your character. If you went into the editor without doing this step that we're going to be doing now, you would still be with the sample character. So what we do here is we make sure that the game cry project file is highlighted, and we right click on it and we say generate a solution for this. So what this is going to do is detect your Visual Studio that you've got installed. It's going to come up and say Visual Studio 2017 Win64, and you hit generate solution. Now this is where you just wait for Visual Studio to generate the solution properly, hopefully without errors. And there we go, the solution has been generated. Now what we do is go to the Solutions folder, click on that, Win64, and we find the game sin file. And there it is, game.sin. We highlight that, right click, open with Microsoft Visual Studio 2017. Wait for a while, there we go, it's all loaded up. Now what we want to do here is search the actual for a name called player.cpp. We want to find that component. And there it is right there, player CPP. Now we double click on that, and it's going to show us, there you go, this is all the code for the player CPP. Now what you want to do here is go down until you find where it's going to look for the, there you go, there's where it's finding the CDF file, and here's where you want to put in yours. So basically ours is going to be Maria learn how to spell Maria is the folder that she's in. We'll just copy this name here, copy, paste it in for the third person CDF. Paste it in so it's Maria folder, Maria CDF. We can copy this whole block here between the two quotes. Copy that and then move down to the player animation where it's showing it again. Oh, I don't think I need to do it twice. Oh, wait a minute, just wait a minute. Animation first person, default setting, player code. Nope, that's where I think the only place I need to change it. We'll soon find out if we see it really doing something weird, but I think that's the only place where it's referencing the CDF file. Set the player geometry, yep, that's the only place. So once we've done that and everything is fine with that, we want to build the solution for this so we can basically I always just go back up to the top there, and what I do is go to build and build the solution. There you'll see it's building the solution for it. There, everything's done. Oh, nope, sorry. There it goes. Build 6 and 0 failed, so we're all okay with that. Now we can exit out. Now when we go in game, we should be able to be the character. So we'll cancel that, and we'll go into the Cryengine launcher. We'll go to our third person tutorial. It didn't crash, so everything's looking good, and we can go to our level. Okay, now we can go and jump in here as the player. There you go, there she is. She's doing her jumping around, changing from pose to pose because I'm moving the arrow key and there's no blend spaces saying don't do that. So basically there she's in her idle pose. There she is walking forward. Okay. And there she is walking backwards. I hope this works. We'll see. Yeah, there's the walking backwards. The animation is not corrected because its key is stopping there. That's just because of the way we first originally set up the animation. I forgot to set it up as being a looping one within 3ds Max, so you can find out how to adjust that yourself. But basically that's it. That's how you set up a character and how you get all the animations working. It's very basic just to show you how to get started, but it's a good starting block for all of us to be able to see how the character pipeline is a basic pipeline. Get into it yourself, enjoy yourself. Anything new that you find out or things that are tricks that you see and would like to pass on, please let me know on the Cryengine Discord server. My name is Vinny MC, and I thank you all for listening to me in this 4-part series, and have a good day. Cheers.